Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Colors of Sound podcast. This is Timothy Stone Dancer Coleman, and I'm coming to you from South Bronx Community Charter High School. I have an amazing human being standing here with me, so we're going to turn this music down and we're going to get into a little bit of a conversation. So tell the folks, what's your name?
My name is Rameen.
Rameen, what's your connection to this high school?
So I have two children at 1 year. One of them, his name is Rameen. So he's about to enter into his junior year in college. He goes to Morgan State University.
Okay.
So he's alumni. And presently I have my daughter. She's in the 12th grade, so she'll be graduating in June. And she'll be heading off to college, too.
All right, so I want to pause and say congratulations, Mom.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? Kids go to college and the kids get all the congratulations and the gifts. We got to take a minute to thank the moms.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, and do you have another child that's in this building as well, or that's coming to this school?
No. So my daughter is my last one here.
Okay, all right.
So that would be it.
That's beautiful.
For both of my children attending this charter school. So with me sitting on a board, I will be able to continue to be the voice to the parents and the children that are about to enter in freshman year and the ones that's in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So I want to continue to be their voice, not just for the children, but for the parents as well.
I was just going to say that's so powerful that they... that they would have a parent voice on the board. Like, I think that's super important. I used to work for the Department of Education, not in charter system, but like the regular public school. And a lot of times they would just make decisions for the parents and then expect the parents to be okay with it.
Right.
So I really like that model where they have a parent in the room while the decisions are being made so that you can be the voice and say, okay, that's not going to work for parents, or yes, they're going to be way into this, right?
Correct.
So how did you become a part of the board, right?
Great question. I have always been an advocate for children, but not just for the children, but for the community, because the way the community is now, I think we have pulled away from still engaging into the community.
Yes.
So I felt like I know I have a purpose, and my purpose is to serve the community within where I live at.
I love it.
So I said that if this is the path that is given to me, then I'm going to utilize it to the best of my ability. So with my kids being in school, I have always advocated for them, always attended after school programs with them, open house, any type of meeting that they had, any type of board meeting that they had. I always volunteered into the schools, and I always utilized my voice so that way the district or the board or whatever teacher administration staff can hear from the parents.
That's right.
Because it's important. It's because it's our children that are in these schools, right? So we want to make sure that they get the correct tools that they need to navigate through
the rest of their lives. Yes, that's super powerful. So again, another level of thank you, right? Because there are a lot of parents, I think, that have a problem being labeled by schools, right? Like if you're a working parent and you're not able to come to PTA meetings, or if you're a parent and who knows what's going on in the home, right? And what you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. To the school, they don't see you, so you're labeled a disengaged parent, right? And which is unfair because it's just like one word that covers a wide swath of reasons or whatever. And then on the other side of that, sometimes parents that are super engaged, they're labeled as the problem parents because they're always speaking up and they're always, right? So in this particular school, I have to say from everybody that I've talked to, the main theme is the word community.
Yes.
And so do you feel like you have been heard in the things that you have put forward to the board and like the concerns that you might have had, or not even just concerns, or like even the celebrations, right? That you might have presented to the board to say, hey, listen, I think this is really going to work. We should put this in motion.
Yes. Thank you for asking me that question. Yes. As you can see with this block party that we having today, it was me and the board that came up with the idea to have this for the school, for the community, because I seen this charter school sit on Washington Avenue, but nobody knew what school this was. You know, you drive past the building, but you don't know
what's going inside
this
right.
building and what's going on and what they giving back to the community. But in order for the community to know that, we have to put ourselves out there
Right.
to bring them in.
Right.
And that's what we are doing today. And I want to continue to do that and continue to have that community see, hey, there's a great high school on Washington Avenue. It's a charter school. Come enroll your children in and see what the SBC has to offer for your children, as well as you as a parent.
Parents have a voice.
Yeah.
And so I like how South Bronx Community Charter High School has created a model right from the beginning.
Yes.
Where the community voice, because the kids seem to have a voice and a way to develop like their kind of career path. Teachers have said that they have a way to develop their career path. Now you as a parent are also saying, yeah, they do listen, they do work with you, they do partner with you.
Yes.
What would you tell parents is so different about this particular school?
They offer so many things for the kids here, not just education wise, but it's a safe space for them. They get to be themselves. They get to engage with the staff. And that's real important, right? Because our children are in school majority of the time.
Yeah.
Right? When they get home, it's another job for them.
That's right.
No telling what they're going home to, right?
That's right.
But the parents need to know that when your kids enter this building, that they're going to be safe. They get to be themselves, like I mentioned before. They get to speak up. Their voices are heard. At the same time, getting a great education where it will lead them to want to be something once they graduate from high school. Yeah. And when we get back to that and instilling in our kids that you can be whatever you want to be,
right.
But if you have the right people behind you to support you and to guide you and to grab your hand and say, you can do this.
Yes.
Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't. You remove the T and know that you can.
I love that. That's so good. That's so good. All right. So aside from being an engaged community member, being engaged with school and education on behalf of the children, what's something that you're really passionate about?
Good question. Support, communication, passion, children. Those are my passion. I want to see our kids are our future, right?
Right.
So it's like you have to guide them so that they can take over. And that's my passion. That's what I'm passionate about. I really had to think about that question, because there's so many avenues to that question. But to make it overall is that it's a passion for me to be something to someone. If I can change one person, that one person can change many others.
So in relation to your position on the board, had you ever done that type of thing before?
No, this would be my first time being a part of a board of education. So I was very honored when I was asked for that opportunity.
What did you think it was going to be like? And then what did it turn into?
I wasn't sure what it entailed until I started coming to the meetings. And then I started to see how the board runs through a school. So it was nothing of what I had imagined. So what I can say is that when I came in, I was kind of lost. I'm going to be honest, right? I'm sitting in this meeting and I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Right.
And then as I started to continue to get invited more to the meetings and stuff, now I started to see what the board does and what it does for the charter school and where it's taken, especially at SBC,
right,
and where they want to go.
Right.
So it was kind of like a culture shock.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a culture shock on my first time. But I'm gradually seeing how things are run.
Yes.
And how they want to see their students be phenomenal once they leave SBC. But when they leave SBC, to leave a mark.
That's right.
To leave a mark, yes.
So what would you say to other parents that might receive that offer of even just coming to the meetings?
Come to a meeting, volunteer, email, reach out to teachers, reach out to whatever staff that your child may be involved in. Come out and know that your voice is going to be heard. If you don't say nothing, you won't know nothing,
That's
right? But you have to come out to see what's going on. And all it takes is one time.
And then you're hooked.
And then you hook.
Thank you so much for being a part of our podcast today. I think your spirit is lovely. Congratulations. Thank you for sticking to it and not being afraid, or even if you were afraid, still taking that step one and going by faith to just show up and figure it out, because you are making a difference.
Thank you. Many blessings to you.
Oh, thank you. I receive it. Thank you. All right, folks, that does it for another episode of the Colors of Sound podcast here at South Bronx Community Charter High School. Parents, come on out, get involved. It just takes one time. You heard it here and you'll be hooked. All right. Your voices matter. Your children matter. And at South Bronx Community Charter High School, I'm telling you from my own personal experience talking with everybody, you do matter. Have a great day.
Check out the latest episode of the Colours of Sound podcast on your favourite platform.